My name's David Cannell and I'm the owner of this website and the owner of the SEO company. And I wanted to speak to you today about the important points that you need to consider if you're thinking about employing an SEO company. Personally, I think there are 7 questions that you need to ask any SEO company before contracting them. Firstly, how many years experience have they got in the local market? Here at SEO Sydney Experts, Sydney Search Results, we've got over 10 years experience in the Australian market, particularly here in Sydney, but all over Australia. That's a long time in internet years. In fact, it's really a lifetime. We've seen algorithm updates come and go, and our clients are still sitting on page 1. We've got many clients that have been with us for that entire period of 10 years. They started with us when we started out, and they're still with us now. There's only one reason for that. That's because they're seeing a positive return on their investment month by month. Secondly, that you need to ask, is it possible to try out your service? This is a question you need to ask the big SEO agencies in particular, because they like to lock you into a long-term contract so that regardless of the results they achieve, they've got your business. We don't do that. We have no lock-in contract. In fact, it's month by month. You start with us in the first month. If at the end of the first month you don't want to continue, you're not happy with our services, you can move on. There's no lock-in contract. The next question that you need to consider, and very carefully when you're speaking to somebody on the phone, is, are you dealing with an expert? Or are you dealing with a sales manager, and once you've signed up a contract, you'll be speaking with some support team manager, a receptionist? Will you actually ever be able to speak to someone who's working on your job as an SEO expert? Here at Sydney Search Results, you can deal directly with me. I will be working on your job. I'm an SEO expert. I've been doing this over 10 years. I think that entitles me to say that I'm an expert. 10 years is a long time in SEO, and you will always be dealing with me. Any technical questions you've got, any concerns, you can raise them with me, and you won't be dealing with an account manager or a salesperson. The next thing that you need to consider is price. Are you being offered a realistic price? Now, there are 2 parts to this. Obviously, you don't want to be paying too much, but is someone offering you a deal which is too good to be true? If it's very, very cheap, it's probably being outsourced overseas, maybe to the Indian subcontinent, wherever. This is something you need to be very careful about, because over the last couple of years, a lot of businesses that have gone with this kind of option have been penalised, because some of the overseas techniques are a little bit spammy, to say the least. And once your website has been burnt, it's burnt. The other thing to consider is, if you go with one of the bigger SEO agencies, you could be paying a lot of money for fancy offices, sales staff, support teams, advertising. So we feel at Sydney Search Results, we offer you a realistic price based on the competitiveness of your market niche, and we understand it has to be affordable to you. So every job, case by case, you can discuss that with us on the telephone, and we aim to offer a realistic price, but which is competitive enough for it to be affordable to you, so that you can make a positive return on your investment month by month. We understand that that's important, it's imperative. The next point to consider is, do they offer a guarantee? Now, most SEO companies will, but you need to look at the fine print. Are they talking about one keyword term on page 3 of Bing? There's so much fine print that can be written into an SEO guarantee. What we say to you is this: look, after 3 months, if you're not ranking on page 1 for some of your primary keywords, ones that are going to turn into money for you. So, in other words, if you're not making a positive return on your investment, we'll work on your job for free for another 3 months. And if at the end of that time, at the end of 6 months, we can't get you the results that you thought you were going to get at the outset, we'll give you all your money back. Now, having said that, in the 10 years that I've been doing business, I've not once had to give back the money. Why? Because I get the results. We get the results. What we say to clients is, give it 3 months, be realistic, particularly if you're in a competitive niche. But what we find is at the end of the first month billing period, when we send out the second invoice, no lock-in contract, we're sending out a ranking report in which we can show page 1 rankings. Now, I'm not going to say to you that's going to be true for your job in your market, but it probably will be. That's what we find over and over. The next question you need to ask is the SEO company using the latest techniques? Because SEO changes very, very quickly. And what worked last year and the year before may not necessarily work now. And there have been a lot of updates and a lot of websites have been hit. I get many people coming to me whose websites used to rank and they don't rank anymore. They've been using a different SEO company and they've been hit by Penguin updates, Panda algorithm changes, all of these algorithm updates that Google keep bringing out because Google want to keep their search engine results, their databases, free of what they consider to be spam websites. And if companies are out there using techniques that worked 4 or 5 years ago, spammy techniques that we wouldn't have recommended even back then you need to be aware of that. At Sydney Search Results, we'll take care of your site with quality promotion, quality backlinks. We'll run an SEO audit of your website, make sure that it's totally up to scratch in terms of the on-page SEO, and then we'll run a quality backlinking campaign to promote your website in the search engine results. It's all about quality. And if you've got the right quality on page and off page, you will rank. And lastly, are you able to sit down and talk with an SEO expert? Are they prepared to come out and meet you at your offices? Now, you don't need to do this necessarily. You can talk everything through over the phone. But I'm happy to come out and meet you. And I feel confident that once you get to know me and you look at what we do, you'll feel very comfortable moving ahead with us. So they're the 7 questions that you need to consider and to actually put to the SEO company when you speak to them on the phone. Am I talking to an SEO expert now, or am I talking to a salesperson? All of these questions that I've just been through. We come through with flying colours on all of them. So I hope you'll give us a ring on 9314 3224. That's a Sydney number, so it's 02 9314 3224. Thank you. Look forward to hearing from you.